Have you ever wanted to achieve success but found yourself saying, someday? Someday is the most dangerous word in the English language. It keeps people dreaming and waiting, only to leave them with regret. How long will you wait for that day? If you want to be successful, be like Matthew Dix, the author of this book. Matthew wrote this book to share his strategies on productivity. In this summary, you'll learn about time management, creating opportunities, boosting creativity, managing failures, and developing the right mindset. Remember, you need determination to start and keep moving forward on your journey. Don't wait for someday, take your first step today. Time is an important part of every day. Your work productivity depends on how you use your time. By using time wisely, you can achieve your goals. You might have both small and big tasks. Whatever it is, you have to use your time in a way that gets you results. Once, Matthew met a woman who was an author. He knew she wasn't using her time well. In fact, the woman said she only had 2 hours to write and had to go to a cafe or park to do it. But Matthew knew these were just excuses for not starting to write. On the other hand, Matthew values his time and can work anywhere, anytime. The woman arrived 7 minutes late to their meeting. By then, Matthew had already revised 9 sentences of his own novel. He didn't let this waiting time go to waste. Matthew didn't wait for the perfect time or place to write something. Like Matthew, you can also use your time effectively. Here are some rules you can follow. The first rule is that when making any decision, you have to consider time as a primary factor, meaning the most important and first factor. There are many people who ignore time. They keep working without thinking about time and don't even think about how they are using it. But proper discipline and attention to time will help you know where and how to use it correctly. For example, instead of driving far to get the best pizza, Steve prefers to get pizza from his local area. Doing this saved him a whole 100 minutes because he didn't have to drive far to buy pizza. On the other hand, Matthew's wife, Elisha, uses her time differently. Elisha uses her driving time to bond with her family. She is willing to drive 120 minutes to listen to music, share memorable stories, and stop at interesting places with her children. The second rule is to reduce travel time. The best way to do this is to get a house near your work area. The closer you live to your office, the more extra minutes you'll have. If you can get somewhere in 15 minutes, you'll have an extra 45 minutes to do other things. The third rule is that you have to pay attention to all the things you never considered before choosing or changing your career. A career means you have to work, but you also have to think about the time spent at work. Choose a career that balances your work and life so you have extra time for family, vacations, and your hobbies. Before committing to any career, it's wise to consider what it demands of you. Think about both the advantages and disadvantages of that job. Also, consider your ability, desire, and level of commitment to that job. The fourth rule is that you have to try to maximize your work efficiency. Don't spend too much time on a task. It's much better to try to minimize the time it takes to do each task. Set a deadline to complete a task and find the most effective way to complete it. The fifth rule is to learn to let go of some tasks and reassign them. Stop doing things that take away from your essential responsibilities. Instead of useless tasks, do productive activities. Reassign or delegate such tasks to people who can handle them better. If you want to make time for yourself, you can delegate your essential tasks to people and pay them for it. For example, you can hire a gardener to take care of your lawn so you have more time for other work. The sixth rule is to choose how you will use your time. Make time for important work. Eliminate tasks that are not related to your goals in life. This is because you have to decide where and how to use your time. For example, you have to choose between watching TV or writing a few sentences for a book. Finally, the seventh rule is to address the time spent on daily routine tasks and time-passing activities. Save your time based on your lifestyle. Try to do things quickly whenever possible. Focus on doing difficult tasks first so you can get more done. But along with fulfilling your dreams, don't forget to live life. Sleep is also very important for productivity. It's a part of a healthy lifestyle that helps you work well, both physically and mentally. That's why you should consider sleep as something precious, because you really need rest. Enjoy a full night's sleep and then wake up with full energy. You're going to need it all day. But you also have to limit your sleeping time and keep in mind that you get a deep sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, you will feel sleepy the next day, or you might fall asleep during the day. Let's learn about sleep and how you can get a good night's rest. Your sleep doesn't depend on what time you go to bed and what time you wake up, but rather on how long you actually sleep. Let's say you go to bed at 11 p.m., you won't fall asleep immediately. For a while, you'll toss and turn, use your gadgets, read a book, or watch TV before sleeping. You can improve your sleep routine by changing it. Here are some steps to sleep well at night. Don't miss any of these steps, or you won't get all the benefits of quality sleep. First, you have to follow a sleep schedule or routine. You have to go to sleep and wake up at the same time every day. Make your schedule permanent and follow it without any excuses. You have to follow your sleep schedule even when it's the weekend, a holiday, or a vacation. Second, remember that your bed is only for sleeping. Don't do any other work on your bed except sleeping. Stop reading, watching TV, or using your phone before bed. Teach your body and mind to sleep according to your schedule so that as soon as you lie down on the bed, you fall asleep. Third, listen to white noise. This is important because white noise sends a signal to your brain through sound that it's time to sleep. It also prevents you from being disturbed by the noises around you. This will allow you to sleep soundly because you will not be woken up in the middle of the night. The sound of ocean waves or the sound of wind blowing through the grass are examples of white noise. You can listen to them on your speaker at low volume. Fourth, relax so you can fall asleep quickly. Don't let your racing thoughts overpower you because it will keep you awake all night. Instead, relax your mind and body by taking a hot shower or meditating before going to bed. These two methods will help you gradually relieve stress from your body and relax your mind. Fifth, exercise to improve your sleep. Exercise relieves stress. Work out daily without making excuses. It will also improve the quality of your life because it will give your body plenty of energy to keep you physically active throughout the day. Sixth, forget about the snooze alarm. Never use the snooze button on your alarm clock. Sleeping and waking up every 10 minutes is not good for your health. By doing this, you are only ruining your sleep cycle, and because of this, you are either lazy or feel tired throughout the day. Seventh, take care of the temperature of the room you sleep in. Don't sleep in a room that is too cold or too hot. This can mess up your sleep cycle. This also has a bad effect on your body temperature rhythm due to the shift from a cold to a hot or a hot to a cold atmosphere. Eighth, pay attention to the lighting in your room. It is good to sleep in a dark room by turning off the lights in your room. You can also use curtains for this. Curtains help block outside light coming in from the window. Not everything is worth your time because not everything gives you the same value. You will find tasks that take a lot of your time but don't pay you well. Most of the time, this is just a waste of your time. So you should look for jobs that give you money and benefits equal to your time and effort. Time is money. Don't waste it. Only take a job or extra work if the money you get is worth your time. Otherwise, don't take it. The best way to make money from your time is to invest in yourself. Improve your skills so that you have more opportunities. If you are skilled and a high performer, you can become a sought-after employee. Then the company will also pay you according to your abilities. Therefore, you should know the value of your time and effort. If you think you have more skills, you can also ask for a raise. So, you shouldn't waste your time in a job that pays you less but makes you work more. For example, Jeff gets up early every morning to deliver newspapers. No matter what, he never misses work. Whether it's hot or cold, raining or snowing, it doesn't matter to him. Jeff goes to work even when he is sick, but despite this, he wasn't paid much for this hard work. His salary was next to nothing compared to the effort and time he put into delivering papers in his neighborhood. Another factor that wastes time is exaggerating things. Waiting in line at a famous burger restaurant is a waste of time. You were interested in that burger because people exaggerated how good it was, but it wasn't that special. Later, you realize you could have bought the same product without waiting in line. You could have bought a burger from that place a few weeks after it opened. This would have saved you time because you would have gotten your order in 5 minutes. The third thing is addictive games. Playing games is also a waste of time. You spend hours glued to your phone playing Candy Crush or Flappy Bird. This only wastes your attention and focus, and you get nothing in return. Games like Candy Crush and Flappy Bird disconnect you from the world. These games are so addictive that you just get lost in playing. You are not present even when you are somewhere, because your entire focus is only on the game. You get so lost in your phone that you don't even notice what's happening around you. Change this bad habit. Use your phone for productivity. Delete all the games from your phone and download ebooks. You can also go to Google to read news, articles, or journals. You can also use your phone for productive things like making a grocery list, replying to emails, checking your bank statement, etc. Do something that gives you more information. It's much better to learn new things than to play games for hours. You can also enjoy reading books, writing stories, learning a new language, or listening to podcasts. Opportunities in life are rare. Sometimes a door might suddenly open in front of you and you have to say yes to that opportunity. Despite doubts, don't let that chance slip away. If you refuse it then, maybe no one will knock on your door again. Matthew Dix understood that saying yes to opportunities can completely change your life and give you a chance to grow. Saying yes to something can lead you to new opportunities that you might never have imagined. Matthew experienced this firsthand. One day, his friend Benji asked Matthew if he would be the DJ at a wedding. Matthew had no experience or knowledge of DJing at events. The thought never even crossed Matthew's mind because he wanted to be a writer and a teacher. But despite his doubts, Matthew said yes to this event. He didn't have the equipment, knowledge, or experience for the DJ job, but an opportunity had knocked on his door, and Matthew said yes. It's been 25 years, and today Matthew has 444 clients. During this time, he met many different people and did a great job as a DJ. He got another opportunity when his friend Scott asked Matthew if he could be the minister at his wedding. Despite being an atheist, Matthew agreed to it. Matthew became a minister and even performed weddings and baptisms. He also gained many clients from this. He even started Sunday services at 3 churches and became a novelist and songwriter. Matthew also made lifelong friends through his gigs. Matthew found success because he had the courage to say yes and try the opportunities that came his way. Throughout the year, he had many different opportunities. You can be like Matthew too. You can also say yes to opportunities. In fact, you can do this without anyone inviting you. You just have to ask yourself one question. You have to ask yourself if you can do this or if it is even possible. This will give you a chance to step out of your comfort zone. The answer to your question should be yes, I should try this. Because until you try an opportunity, you won't know where it might lead you. In some cases, it is difficult to say yes to situations that seem quite challenging or scary. Your anxiety increases because you have no idea what is going to happen next. Accepting an opportunity means taking a risk. But you should still try because you will find your best yes when you try the hardest yes. Always be ready to try something new. Accept an opportunity as a gift, even if it doesn't seem very attractive to you, even if it's going to take a little longer or seems completely useless. It's better to try it once than to refuse outright. Believe that you will definitely learn something from this new experience. Start by saying yes. Any work is meaningless without action. These opportunities won't do you any good. If you don't take action, you will neither learn nor progress. You can't reach the finish line without starting. So, the right time to start is today. In fact, right now. Not tomorrow or any other day. Just start, and you will find many opportunities along the way. It doesn't matter how perfect your work is. Don't chase perfection because you don't know what the future holds. Just be positive and believe that everything will be all right. Failure is also progress. If you are ready to try something new, you have to be ready to face failure. Failure gives you a chance to grow. The more you fail, the more lessons you learn. If you fail, you start again and keep going until you find a better way to achieve your goals. Your ability to keep going despite your failures is the only way to achieve success. This process will be very challenging. But when you move forward after accepting the lessons you've learned, all your pain and disappointment will start to disappear. When Matthew became a DJ, he wasn't immediately successful. He didn't know anything about wedding music, the wedding industry, DJ equipment, or event lighting. But Matthew kept progressing and moving forward. He started by becoming a wedding DJ at his friend Benji's suggestion, and then he just kept going. Matthew and Benji bought DJ equipment, but their setup wasn't great at their first client's wedding. The photographer there was also complaining that Matthew kept getting in the way of the couple's wedding photos. People didn't feel like dancing to the songs he was playing. Matthew's first experience wasn't very good. He made several mistakes at his second gig too. Matthew and Benji plugged in the speakers incorrectly, used the wrong cables, and couldn't play the songs correctly. They even played the wrong entrance song at the wedding. Despite so many failures, they continued to be wedding DJs. Matthew and Benji didn't give up. They continued to learn by taking advice from people in the industry and kept working. Matthew and Benji were willing to try, fail, and learn from it. You have to be like Matthew and Benji. Prepare yourself to fail. Accept that you will make mistakes before you get things right. Be patient because it takes time to reach the finish line. Just start and do your best. Another thing to remember is that nobody cares about your failures. If you fail at something, no one will remember it forever. People won't even think about it. For example, Michael Jordan was cut from the basketball team when he was in 9th grade. Michael was removed because he wasn't a good player. He couldn't shoot, dribble, or defend the ball well. But today, Michael Jordan is considered a remarkable and extremely popular player. His failures became the foundation of his success. Walt Disney was also fired from his job as a newspaper writer. His ideas were rejected due to a lack of imagination and creativity. Disney's Mickey Mouse idea was also heavily criticized. But Disney didn't pay much attention to what people said. He kept working on his idea until he got good at it. Whenever you start something new, accept that you might fail. Nobody's perfect on their first try. Just keep working and focus on your training. Do a self-assessment to see your progress. Take a step back and analyze the situation. Review your work and pay attention to the reasons for your mistakes. See what's lacking in your efforts. Judge your work and give yourself feedback. But don't blame yourself for failing. You just have to focus on improving your work, nothing else. Being creative brings more success in life. Turning your ideas into reality is a creative way to achieve your goals. It all can start with a simple idea, which will open new doors of opportunity you never imagined. When you start making your idea a reality, that's where progress begins. You collect your ideas and then expand on them, creating new content. You can create things from raw materials, turn a small idea into a big one, and transform your thoughts into a creative idea. Ideas hold a lot of power. Everything you do starts with an idea that comes from your observations, experiences, and the stories of others. You begin to dream of making something simple into something extraordinary. You look for ways to make your idea stand out and be different. Finally, you've transformed your ideas into something that helped make your dreams come true. Matthew Dix's experience is proof of this. Once, he hosted a comedy club and told a story about how he tried to impress his father as a child. Matthew said he and his siblings used to play a game. Stay in the dryer for a longer period and you will win. In this, they would challenge each other to see who could stay the longest in a dark, hot room. The audience loved this trick for getting his father's love. Months later, this same story was published in a blog post and a magazine because of its humor. This same story was also performed in a theater, played on a radio podcast, became the storyline of a novel, and was published on a YouTube channel. So the story that Matthew brought to the audience at a comedy show had now become part of other shows. A simple joke opened the door to many opportunities. The results of creativity are big. It gives you the chance to create something new, enjoy content, grow your audience, and increase your profits. You just have to make the impossible possible. This means you go beyond your imagination and turn it into reality. If you expand on your idea and work hard, your initial vision for achieving your goal will start to progress in different ways. For example, rejected ideas for a novel can be used for a theater play, musical, or movie script. You can add other stories to create a different storyline for a novel. You can use your skills in marketing and advertising campaigns for other clients. You can use all your experiences as ideas for your next content and activities. Long story short, By transforming your ideas in different ways, you can also increase your recognition. You can become a novelist, comic book writer, screenwriter, comedian, speechwriter, public speaker, entrepreneur, anything. Create something new from little things. For this, you just have to rethink, reimagine, recreate your ideas, and create a new purpose for them. Create something new and accept every opportunity. It's better to try as much as possible than to do nothing. Also, remember that the things you see today came from someone else's idea. Many years ago, there were no books. But today, people use books to share their stories and ideas. Similarly, without existing products and services, no new business will come about. So, the power of an idea motivates you to make something a reality in the world. You can make even a boring thing fun and entertaining. Events that seem impossible can be made possible through an idea and the right action plan. Giving up is a choice. When people go through tough times, they get upset and impatient and they give up. But the hard truth is, if you don't do anything, you won't get anywhere. If giving up is always your choice, you will never succeed. Having goals is easy. You can dream anywhere, anytime. When you have a goal, you feel so happy imagining it. But a lack of action will keep you from reaching the finish line. You'll either get very little or nothing at all. In the end, you lose because you wasted countless opportunities. You stop being creative, taking action, and moving forward. You give up without a fight. Later, you regret it. You don't want that to happen. But the road to success isn't easy. This road is full of challenges, which can also make you frustrated. It will also test your patience because only those who have the spirit to stand till the end will win this battle. When failures and mistakes happen, your willpower starts to waver. You can still win the fight. Be an optimist. In this world, there are only two kinds of people. An optimist is a positive thinker. Optimists believe that things become successful at the right time. They keep working hard despite failing. On the other hand, a pessimist is a negative thinker. Pessimists believe that things will always go wrong or bad. Pessimists try to avoid pain and disappointment. They always want to stay in their comfort zone, while optimists work to fulfill their dreams. You should be an optimistic person. Whenever you feel like giving up, bring your present into the future. One way to do this is to stop complaining. It was a summer day. One day, Matthew and his classmates felt extremely hot at school. Their teacher was also complaining about the heat, but Matthew said that school would be over soon. Today's hot weather won't even be noticeable in the next few weeks. Instead, they should focus on finishing their syllabus. So instead of complaining about things, it's better to focus on something that will matter to you in the future. If an issue isn't that important, don't waste your time. Keep in mind that whatever the problem is, it's temporary. In some cases, we even forget about them. Sometimes dealing with problems isn't so easy. It's quite challenging because you don't know how to solve them. If you're a pessimist, you'll give up easily. A pessimistic person runs away from problems because they bring negative feelings. But an optimistic person faces problems, no matter how difficult they are. The concept of bringing your present into the future applies to optimists. They believe that today is next month. If you are worried about today's problem, think that you have already overcome this difficulty. Pretend you are in the future. Thinking about the future will never bother you. This is because, by then, the problem will be over, and you will have already moved on. First, you learned how valuable time is. Spend it wisely on things that add value to your life and help you move forward and become successful. You can achieve a lot in just a few minutes. By bringing a sense of urgency to your work, you can save a lot of time. Second, you learned that sleep is very important for staying energized throughout the day. You should not compromise on your sleep. Even if you have a lot of work, you can still get a good night's sleep by adjusting your sleep routine. Third, you learned to spend your time on important things. Do a job that values your time and effort. Replace the bad habit of being glued to your phone with good habits that make you productive. Fourth, you learned that opportunities sometimes come knocking. They will come to you suddenly, so don't let them slip away. Say yes to them, even if you think the chances of success are slim. Just start and trust the process. You will be surprised how much you grow over time. Fifth, You learned that failure is the greatest teacher. If you give up, you will never grow. Instead, use your failure as motivation to work harder, learn from your mistakes, and keep moving forward. Never stop learning and moving forward. Sixth, you learned that a simple idea can turn into an extraordinary idea. One idea can lead you to many opportunities. By being creative, you can achieve your goals. So use the ideas that come to your mind and make your dreams come true. Seventh, you learned that an optimist never gives up. It's normal to experience challenges and problems. There's only one way to solve them, and that's to keep going and stay focused. Pretend you've already overcome that difficult situation, and it won't matter in the future. The lessons in this summary will help you better manage and organize your life. To save your time from useless tasks, spend your time on important tasks, regain focus, become more productive, and do more important things. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share it with your friends. Thank you for watching.